Here it is, the brand new 2023 Hustler Surfer Pro with the 34-inch mowing deck. If you've been following our channel, you know Michelle's been wanting a small stand-on mower, and after us going to the 2022 Equip Expo in Kentucky, Michelle decided to go with this Hustler. This video is not going to be a review video, it's more of a overview video, and I'll go over the features and specs, and I'll give my initial thoughts on this mower. Before I get started, I want to give a big thanks to Kristen. She's the owner of Perry Hall Lawn Equipment. Her and her staff really gave us a good experience. When we got this mower, the whole process went flawless. Their dealership is off of E Joppa Road in Parkville, Maryland. Just if you take 695 on the north side of Baltimore, they're I think only a mile or so off the exit there, coming off 695. So if you're in the area and you're interested in Hustler brands and the Toro brands of mowers, go up there and definitely check them out. As I mentioned before, this is a 2023 model, and if you look here, based on the manufacturer sticker, it was actually coming off the assembly line in early January. This model number for this particular mower is 941591. So if you look on the internet and you wanted to compare, what you're finding on the internet compared to what we have, this is it. So we actually ordered it in mid-January, and we actually got it about in the middle of February. So we've had it for a couple weeks. It's now March 1st, and we're gearing up to get ready for mowing. So, but we have been test riding it, going around the parking lot when we got it, and we've been around the yard a few times, and we've already put 1.6 hours just riding around, like you say, the yard and such. It's actually a fun little mower. It feels like if you were comparing a car to a go-kart, it's like having a go-kart. If you're wondering what we paid for this mower, the actual list price was $4,799. So just shy of $5,000. Now, many might say that that's kind of pricey for this mower, but when you compare with other smaller mowers of this type, they're getting up to the $8,000 mark. And so if you compare this mower to those mowers, being $2,000 to $3,000 less, you really can't beat it compared. Of course, it's not the most heavy-duty mower for the price, but it's still really well built, and I'll kind of show you the construction of it. If you get a little closer here, they use I guess it's 1.5 inch square tube for the frame, and if you really look close, it is well built. You can't say that it isn't. It is what it is. I can't, I'm not griping at all on the construction of it. You know, at least my initial observation of this mower, you know, it's a pretty tight little mower. Now, the only thing, you know, I could maybe nitpick maybe is that the console on here, if you look at it, you know, how the frame comes down, it kind of gives it that, I don't know, I wouldn't want to say cheap look, but you know, I think, you know, if I was you know, in the future of designing, or you know, hustler, you know, making more of these, that to give it a little bit more of a bulky look maybe, is to somehow, you know, make the supports a little thicker, so it kind of gives more of that little beefier look. That's just in my opinion. The manufacturer warranty for this mower is a 3-year 300-hour residential, or a 2-year 300-hour commercial use. So 300 hours isn't much for commercial use, and you know, we know that you know, going forward. And if we're going to base you know, what Michelle's been mowing for the last 2 years on her Toro Time Master, that she's going to easily put 300 hours on this mower this coming summer. The transmission for this mower is a dual hydro gear ZT 1800 gear pumps, or you know, whatever you call them. They you know, they're not the, I think they're about the smallest compact hydros that you can you know, get for, you know, for these type of mowers. So it's definitely not commercial grade. They're, you know, considered residential grade, and you know, based on the specs, it can only reach 6 miles an hour. Now, 6 miles an hour might not seem a lot, but you know, if you're doing small yards and you're used to push mowing, you know, this, you know, 6 miles an hour is probably plenty. And, you know, like you said, this mower is for you know, getting into, you know, small yards and, you know, tight spaces. The tires, the rear tires are 18-inch for the rear on both sides, and in the front, caster style wheels are the 11-inch semi-pneumatic for the front tires. So, you know, pretty basic for the front tire. Now the back tires, they do have that slim look to it. Now, I don't know, you know, you can see as far as, you know, the reason why they use the slimmer tires is because of the mowing deck. You know, if you start putting wider tires on there, that you're gonna, you know, restrict you know, how close you can get to, you know, to the edges. So that's another thing that, you know, I'm kind of, you know, seeing how it performs, you know, in yards, you know, especially when it's wet, you know, if it starts to rut up the yard or such. So that's another thing. I mean, we could, you know, you know, find a slightly larger tire, but we won't, you know, go there until we see how it performs. Now, it is a key electric start, which is nice. So it does have a starter on there, and you know, of course, it needs a battery. And another thing is, I did notice that the battery is, I've never really seen a small battery like that for an engine of this size. I thought originally it was a lithium style battery, but looking at the label there, it is a acid lead battery. So, but it seems to start it fine. Now, I don't know, you know, once we get a year or so on the battery, you know, we'll see how well it starts. The gas tank is only a 2-gallon gas tank, and you fill it, you know, in the back here underneath the knee pad. And like I said, it only holds 2 gallons. Now I don't know how long, that's another thing, but if they did put a gas gauge on there. And I noticed last year's model had a translucent you know, gas tank on there, or now this year they're using black gas tanks with the gas gauge on there. So we'll see. You know, that's another thing. You know, I'll record and see, you know, how far or how many hours, you know, we could roughly get on 2 gallons. So, and I'm hoping, you know, fill it up, you know, for the day, that it'll, you know, hopefully, you know, last the entire day, which I would assume so. So up on the control panel here, you know, you have your, you know, your basic, you know, controls as far as, you know, your left and right handles. It has a electric PTO for the blades, and, you know, just the key start in the, you know, you choke it, and then your throttle here, and it has you know, your brake lever there. So, and as far as the cut height goes from 2 inches up to 4.5. So it's fairly easy to, you know, pop the pin and adjust the height accordingly. So that doesn't seem to be a problem. So, you know, so we can quickly adjust from yard to yard. Based on the specs, this mower is 470 pounds, so it's not super heavy. It's actually, you know, as far as lifting the front end up, you can pick it up. So, you know, to be able to access the under the deck, you know, it doesn't require you to have, you know, the deck lifts and stuff like that. You could you know, pick it up by hand, but, you know, that's if you know, can physically you know, able to do that. So now, this being a 34-inch deck, it has two mower blades in configuration. It's the blades themselves are 16.75 inches long. So, and as far as the, you know, when it's mowing, the blade speed is 18,900 I guess revolutions per minute. So, you know, fairly good you know, tip speed, you know, as far as mowing. So we'll see how it does quality wise once we get mowing. So alrighty, I'm going to end the video here for this segment. If you have any questions, you know, please leave them in the comments. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be doing a series of videos as we get into the spring summer and on the performance and quality, how this mower will do for us this spring summer. And the next video, I'm going to be taking off the grass deflector there and mounting a grass catcher bagger system. It's the factory grass catcher. So on the next video, I'll show what that entails to install, and talk about, you know, the specs on that as well. So all right, we'll see you in the next video.